Good morning, fellow Ambazonians. Today na Sunday, number 22 day for this January 2023. My name na Capo Daniel, the Deputy Defense Chief and the Anti-Kidnapping Czar of the Ambazonian Defense Forces, the ADF, and the Spokesperson of the Ambazonian Governing Council, the AGOVC. Una welcome to our daily podcast, a program where we bring una the truth, meaningful information, fact-based analysis for help we as we waka for this journey to our freedom, the independence of Ambazonia. Good people of Ambazonia, finally, the Canadian government did announce the commitment for enter into a comprehensive negotiation between the Republic of Cameroon and Ambazonia.
Facilitate talks aimed at ending years of separatist conflict in Cameroon. More than 1 million people have been forced to flee their homes in the country's English-speaking northwest and southwest regions. Will Ross reports.
Finally, after more than 5 years of fighting in Cameroon, it's possible that all sides are in agreement that this war can't be won through the guns. Switzerland tried to mediate, but the talks broke down and President Paul Biya's government appeared to be in favour of the military option. Now Canada is going to try. Its Foreign Minister, Mélanie Joly, said the government in Yaoundé and 6 different groups representing the separatists had agreed to start a peace process.
In the official announcement, a statement for Canada, their government website, is stated as follows. The statement will be made on the 20th of this January for Ottawa, the capital of Canada. The statement will be written by Honorable Mélanie Joly, when I be the Foreign Minister for Canada. For the heading for the document, it talks say Canada it announce peace process will be aimed for solve the ongoing crisis wey dey for northwest and southwest regions them for Cameroon. Civilians them they don't suffer for this crisis with over 6,000 people them they don't be killed for the crisis since 2017. It talks in addition over 800,000 people them they don't run come out for their house with over 600,000 pikin them they no get access for go for school. It talks say Canada it welcome the agreement where both sides they don't enter for this process so that the first reach a comprehensive package for peace for it will give a political solution for this conflict. The party them they don't agree say a technical committee go start work for confident building measure them. It talks say then congratulate all the party them. That means say Ambazonia and La Republique for enter for this process. And they encourage all other stakeholders them. Say make them support and work with the party them where they be involved for this process for make me be more inclusive. It talks to Canada, it don't accept for be the facilitator for this process. And in a part of Canada, their commitment for peace, for the war, security, and for promote democracy and human rights. It talks to the rule for Canada where Canada go play them. It could be engaging and it be part of Canada, their work for help for inside Africa, for build a better future for everybody. It finished with the last statement, say the parties for this agreement, now the Republic of Ambazonia, the Ambazonian Governing Council, the Ambazonian Defense Forces, the African People's Liberation Movement, the Southern Cameroon Defense Forces, the interim government, the Ambazonian coalition team, and the other party for the other opposite side, now the government of Cameroon. The document will be published by Secretary Adrian Blanchette. This document will be received with first a very harsh criticism from the President of the Ambazonian Governing Council, leader of our War of Liberation, Dr. Chuayaba, with a tweet. He sent on for Twitter. It talks say he asked the Canada Foreign Ministry for withdraw the statement we make them because that statement he no reflect the spirit for the commitment and mandate for negotiation between Ambazonia and La République du Cameroon. Because say for that heading, for that document, they refer to Ambazonia as Northwest and Southwest. The Canadian government, they respond with their ambassador for United Nations, Ambassador Bob Ray. He make the correction, he come back, he talk say, then congratulate Ambazonia and La République. In the tweet, he mentioned Ambazonia not as Northwest and Southwest, but as the former British Southern Cameroon. I read exactly as he write them. Great to hear the news of the path towards peace between the government of Cameroon and the representative of the movement of the former United Nations Trust Territory of the British Southern Cameroon. The Canadian ambassador or embassy for inside Cameroon, he also follow with a tweet for congratulate both sides for enter inside a mediation process where we could negotiate. Through the negotiation process will bring about a resolution of the crisis other than for use war. Other international dignitaries then also join inside for congratulate both sides for the process, with Ambassador Thibault Nagy, the former United States Under Secretary for African Affairs. He talks say it wish every success for Canada's effort for bring peace for Ambazonia, in quote, he put them in quote, also Southern Cameroons, but also praying that this will result to an outcome that is not simply another process used by the Cameroon government to delay a real resolution of the real resolution. Let's see result. So it talks say he hopes say this one, it could be like the Swiss talk, where the Swiss talk it be just been a way for the Cameroon government for use delay tactics, and he hopes say this one it could bring result. Dr. Cho Lucas Ayaba, after the correction, also put out a tweet for talk say he welcomed the announcement of this process by the Canadian government, and he talks a congratulations for Canada also for accept for be a facilitator, and both side Ambazonia and La République will officially speak subsequently. The leadership of the bloc of Ambazonian movements will then be inside this negotiation process. The leadership, the way the world international community, they don't recognize them for properly represent our country, Ambazonia. Now the Ambazonian Governing Council, the Ambazonian APLM of Dr. Ebenezer Kwanga, the Ambazonian Governing Council, the AGOFC of Dr. Cho Lucas Ayaba, the IG Care of Mr. Yerima Dabni of Seseko, and you also get the group of ACT, where then be for this process as well as the name for inside the document. You also get for the defense groups the Ambazonian Defense Forces, the ADF, and SOCADEF. They also appear for that documents released by the Canadian government, and we will hope to hear from the Ambazonian leaders, and we call on all Ambazonians as the international community to come around for support this peace process where it could lead for negotiation. That means they will solve the problem not be by the barrel of the gun, but it could be through negotiation. A position where Ambazonia be done talk from the beginning. Say this problem, where if it be solved on the negotiation table, not be by gun. La République, now they be choose war, and they don't come now for negotiation table. For this time, the Ambazonia and La République, they go meet up now for negotiation table. May we go hear our leaders they go come out for speak for the world and for the Ambazonian people, and they will provide details. For the meantime, we want to say this is a wonderful and historic moment for our country. If to say the things then be as they talk, and we will not say be, this will be the first time our country have engaged with La République du Cameroon officially as two people representing two different territories. So, ladies and gentlemen, as we sap this in and we absorb it and we digest it, the document also said that a committee will sit down to work the details for confident building measure. That means a thing we go make both sides and trust each other. Say this thing it be real and this thing it be trustworthy. That committee go meet up according to the Canadian government as they announce them. And also we want to talk for our people. Say in terms of La République, we don't notice say before this period one come, they use a word will be very deceptive for our population, and this word it be properly coined from the Cameroon Bilingualism Committee, where we know say na a political front for the Cameroon for fight Ambazonia with the propaganda, and they supervise the so-called DDR Center, where now also a military attaché to work with the Cameroon military. So the Bilingualism Center, that they be coined this word for push and for media about normalcy. So we want to tackle this issue for our population for know the meaning of normalcy. When Cameroon they talk say normalcy, that means they tear our people them through their media outlet, say things that are returned back to normal. But if you look closely, the word normalcy, actually means a Cameroon it don't win or anything it don't win. But Cameroon do want use them for deceive our population them. Our population they need to be able to recognize victory. For Ambazonia, we fight in a war for decolonization, for solve the problem of a failed decolonization process. We then end up leave we for inside La Republic as a captured third-class citizens. This war is a war of resistance against Cameroon rule and a fight for freedom and independence for Ambazonia. So we need for no say normalcy. It's not supposed for me to say Cameroon don't win or the war it don't finish or our resistance it don't stop. Normalcy just simply means say things that don't go back for the way we be. But Cameroon the one push and make with the fee say normalcy mean to say things that don't go back for the way we be. That means say no fighting, Cameroon be in control. But it be wrong. Cameroon it not be in control of 80% of Ambazonia, because the control of a colonial master it be predicated on their administrative control. So for either the one who don't kick out Cameroon, their administrators, they not be able to get their fake and unelected duo and mayor. Those areas, if the talks say be normal sit down return for those areas, so long as we don't kick out those administrators them, it don't mean anything. Our people they know say Cameroon done lost so long as they not be able to put their DO, their SDO, their civil administrator them for back for our town, and their fake unelected official them for mayor, senators, and parliamentarian them. And this one will be true for over 80% of Ambazonia. For the past 3 years, they don't install due them. You need to enter. What are they feed them now for wrong model or you need to enter because our people they don't reject them. It be clear our people do not want anything to do with Cameroon. It be clear the Cameroon they don't oppress we, they don't use brutality and terrorism tactics and for force themselves upon us. It be clear say Cameroon nobody even seek democratic means for get legitimacy, but they don't thief election them for thief Ambazonia their right. It be clear say Cameroon na an exploitory state where their only job for our territory now for exploit our national resources, and they need to put anything back for we because it will be a colony for them. It be clear say the Cameroon constitution it need to protect Ambazonia them for any basic right. It be clear say their military they consider we as people them where they consider them like cockroaches and rats as their governor they don't address we, and their president also it don't cheat we, it don't marginalize we, it don't try to assimilate we. And this is the show for their military, their use of arson attacks. It shows will be people who not give value for their eye. It be clear say there are enough killings and enough bad blood between both sides. We cannot reconcile with these people. We cannot become one again with them like it be before this war. Even though it be an improper fraction, we can never go back again. This is a never again generation. It's resistance, death, or freedom and independence. God bless you all. Capo Daniel, signing off.